Hello, hello. May I give you a placard? At some point, we're going to take a big picture. May I ask Bernie Ballot? Nice and colorful.
I know, Sam, because you never know what you're going to do with it.
Oh, it's in English on one side. Oh, okay. 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 Here.
I know,
This way? Okay. You get to pick which one you like.
I like the blue.
Okay, blue. There you go. One that makes you happy. Okay.
My favorite.
People are still, I thought this thing was supposed to start at 10, but people are still coming in here, so I don't know what the delay is. But more people are coming in. So nurses for Bernie, and see the heart on the letters R-N of his name, which I think is kind of cool.
Clean out.
Well, I didn't know.
Gold and we talked to the other guy.
Rick Mauer said, stuff they sent me, that they gave me, like 2 sheets to sign up for nomination papers for Mauer. Suzanne had a Sunday evening, soup supper
Hi, can I take your picture with your sign?
Yeah.
That's a great sign. All right, 1, 2, 3. Thank you. And what's your name?
Kaylin?
Kaylin? K-A-Y? K-A-Y-L-Y-N-N.
At least that's what I've been using for 50 years.
That's what people call me. Kaylin Straight?
Is it spelled like this?
Yeah, I'm making sure it is.
No, I mean, is your name spelled like this?
Oh no, my name's Elise.
Oh, I thought you said your name's Caitlin.
Oh no. Yeah, it's nice to meet you. I do social media with the nurses. So.
Cool.
Yeah, do you have a Twitter handle?
Yeah, my Twitter handle is at STRAINSOP.
Okay, great.
And so I just tweeted a little while ago, I tweeted the link to my stream.
Oh, great.
So I'm live now. I've actually been live since a little after 10 o'clock because I thought it was supposed to start at 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Okay, great. I love your sign. Thank you so much. I'm going to shoot it.
And what do you think of this?
Oh, that's awesome.
I picked that up at the Bernie rally last Saturday at Fairgrounds.
That's so cool.
I mean, it's like I'm sitting in the press area.
Uh-huh.
And a guy beckons me up to the barricade that separates off the media area, and he just hands it to me.
Wow. Yeah, that's great. I love it.
He had an apron pocket full of them.
That's so cool. I like all the swag.
Especially, I mean, you know, when a guy gives one to a Muslim, you know that's saying something.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's really cool. Hey, Kaylin.
Hello.
Oh, you're here with the press. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll leave you alone. I was going to offer you a sign.
Well, like, I do have one. I do have this.
Oh, great. Okay. Super.
Oh, it's all of 9 degrees here. At least it's a +9 here. And for those just joining me, this is Occupier Kaylin. I am live at the Postal Workers Union Hall. They have officially endorsed Bernie Sanders, as have the nurses union. And some of their members are here. Hashtag nurses number 4 Bernie is the hashtag on their banner that they got here. I don't know if there is a hashtag that the postal workers are using for their social media stuff on Twitter or Facebook. But this is just one in a series of rallies over the next few days around Iowa at the Postal Union halls. And later today there is one in Ames, and a bus will take people to that one. I will not go there because I got stuff to do here. And then over the next few days I'll be going to other cities here in Iowa. And unfortunately I can't join those because I got other stuff to do here. There's stuff for me to stream here. But I had to come over here and give these guys a little coverage. So I've been taking pictures, and I'll post those up on my Facebook wall later. And some have been taking pictures of me. I got my Bernie yarmulke on. I took a paper clip and clipped it to my hijab so that it would stay in place. So people are digging that. I got that from a rally that I was streaming at last Saturday over at the State Fairgrounds. And so for those that did not watch that, I was sitting in the press area, and the guy who had these was wearing a big, sorry about that, the guy who had these was wearing an apron that has a big pocket full of them, and he beckoned me up to the barricade that separated off the media area, and he just gave it to me. And so I thought that was pretty cool. So it has Bernie Sanders' name in English and Hebrew, and then there's a quote inside it. So I posted those pictures up on my Facebook wall, so they are there. On Facebook, my name is Kaylin Lee Strain, so that's how my name is on Facebook. And on Twitter, my handle is at STRAINSOP. And so hashtag Feel the Burn. You can do hashtag Bernie 2016 or hashtag Bernie Sanders. I don't know if they'll make any other hashtags, but just thought I'd throw those out there. So again, the Nurses Union, the National Nurses United, has a hashtag Nurses number 4 Bernie. So 2 unions hooking up here to show their support for Bernie Sanders. So people are still collecting over there. I don't know why they're staying over there. Got the stage set up here. There are also members of Iowa Citizens for Community Improvement, and that group has officially endorsed Bernie Sanders. So all 3 of these groups, the 2 unions, Postal Workers Union, Nurses Union, and Iowa Citizens for Community Improvement members are all working to try to get Bernie elected. Not just to win the Iowa caucuses, but to actually get elected as president.
Are you doing anything on Twitter today, Harmon?
Nothing.
Okay.
Dead space. Yeah, we're tweeting, don't worry.
Okay.
I tweeted the link to my stream just a few minutes ago.
Oh, okay.
A couple of people, as you can see, have taken this stage. There are 2 more chairs that people can sit on. One is hid behind the podium. There's a whole stack of chairs over there you could put up.
All we do when they talk, just pull this mic up out of there. You got one more chair?
There's a whole stack of them over there. Just grab one of them.
Yeah.
Look. Nope, guess they had 3 up on the stage. hear some tall boys.
All right, welcome everybody.
All right.
You know, it's early in the morning, and the very first thing that I like to do is get everybody kind of energized and pumped up, okay?
Yeah.
So if I can get you to stand up real quick,
All right.
and let's get the chant going. Ready? Bernie! 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 Excellent. That's what I'm talking about. You feel that energy, right?
Yeah. We are going to need that.
The next few days. Because this is getting serious. It's crunch time. Correct?
Right.
I am Mike Bates. I am the president of the DMI APW Local 44.
Yeah.
And thank you all for coming out on such a cold day. And this microphone's starting to bust up. I'll get that fixed before the next speaker. Got that covered. My local was the very first local in Iowa to endorse Bernie Sanders, and we are very proud of that. We got him. And the reason is he has postal workers' issues backs. He got their backs. He's got all workers' backs. He's got the nurses' backs. He got CWA's backs.
CWA
He got
is
every worker in
Communications
this
Workers
country's
of
back.
America.
This
They
guy
are-
has walked a picket line. That has never happened. I've never seen that. I'm only 48. But I've never seen that, and I am so proud to make this man our next president. Are you with me? All right. Come on up.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Sheree Ortiz, and I'm a leader from our CCI Action Fund.
Iowa Citizens for Community Improvement.
Bird.
Feel the bird. Feel the bird. Feel the bird. All right. Thank you for sharing your passion. This is an exciting day, and it's an important day because we are standing shoulder to shoulder with American workers and union leaders who are launching a crusade across the state of Iowa to support an exciting revolution in American politics. Today's going to be a two-part program beginning with this rally and a powerful coalition of allies from the National Nurses United, American Postal Workers Union Local 44, Communication Workers of America, and Americans for Democratic Action. Then we are going to mobilize after this rally to phone bank and to support Bernie Sanders. Folks, this is not a moment in time. This is a movement. This is a movement that we are all leading together, lifting up the voices of workers and everyday people that Senator Sanders will represent. While productivity in this country increases and corporate profits rise, workers and everyday people are still working paycheck to paycheck. This is corporate greed, pure and simple. Bernie isn't afraid to call out CEO hucksters for dismantling the middle class and crushing the poor as they line their own pockets. I believe that Senator Sanders understands that income inequality in this country makes poor neighborhoods into sacrifice zones because they become isolated and invisible. Schools and housing deteriorate, businesses disappear, and crime flourishes. Bernie supports raising the minimum wage, and the Fight for 15 campaign is the rising tide that lifts all boats. Bernie Sanders is the only candidate who has the courage to say publicly that he will take on Wall Street and bust up the banks that crashed our economy in 2008 and cost taxpayers billions of dollars to bail them out because they were too big to fail. Bernie Sanders believes that corporations must pay their fair share so that we have the resources to provide quality health care to all. We need to pave roads and build bridges, housing and schools. This mass revolutionary movement of workers gets its momentum, passion, and power from all of us. Not just today, but day in and day out. We work together, we organize, we rise up, we fight back, we stand on the principles of justice, and believe in the moral imperative of workers' rights. I say worker, you say movement. Worker! Movement! Worker! Movement! Worker! Movement! Worker! So what will be happening across the state of Iowa in the next 5 days? Rallies across the state, spearheaded by nurses on the bus for Bernie, will go to Ames and then Sioux City. Then they will travel to Cedar Falls, Waterloo, and Iowa City, where Jim Hightower will be speaking, followed by rallies in Dubuque and the Quad Cities. So it's going to be an exciting week of mobilization across the state, and we're all going to be part of that. Next, I would like to introduce Chris Dixon from the National Nurses United. And don't forget, we're going to be doing some phone banking at the end here, and we're going to be mobilizing that momentum, and we're all going to sign up and work our tails off. Chris.
My name is Chris Dixon, and I'm a registered nurse here in Des Moines. And I'm a member of National Nurses United. It's the largest U.S. organization of nurses. I'm incredibly proud of my union and its endorsement for Bernie Sanders, President of the United States. I support Bernie because he is the best candidate to lead our nation. He has the programs and the vision to truly heal America and transform this country. Bernie shares nursing values of caring, compassion, and community. He shares our values by saying that health care is a right. And I'll say that again, a right.
Right.
He's continuing to champion single-payer health care, Medicare for all, at a time when tens of millions remain uninsured and so many continue to face bankruptcy due to our outrageous medical bills.
Yes.
No one should have to choose between getting the care they need or putting food on the table for their family. Too many of the Des Moines neighbors, my Des Moines neighbors, struggle to get medical care, and that is wrong. Senator Sanders' plan will protect our most precious gift, our health, help the 21 million who are still uninsured and tens of millions more facing medical debt. His plan will cut health care costs, put money back in the consumer's pockets, create jobs, and address a major cause of income inequality, unpayable medical bills. Bernie Sanders shares our values by demanding Wall Street and the hedge fund traders and bankers who crashed our economy by gambling with our mortgages and retirements.
That's right.
And they need to be held accountable and begin to pay their fair share. Bernie Sanders shares our values by introducing legislation to tax Wall Street speculation, the Robin Hood tax, that could raise hundreds of billions of dollars every year to pay for education for all and pay health care for all. Yeah. It will rebuild our crumbling infrastructure and create jobs and so much more. That's why nurses and so many Iowans are joining the movement. The American people are sick and tired of establishment policies and establishment economics.
That's right.
We know that corporate greed is destroying our economy, and we know that it's wrong and unacceptable that almost all the wealth and income is going to the top 1%, while we are rising poverty and hunger in America. It is unacceptable that while workers are more productive than ever, real wages are not increasing. Bernie Sanders challenges to all of us to get involved in a political revolution, a grassroots movement to transform America. I'm thrilled to be part of the campaign and movement that is about people standing up and fighting back and saying loudly and clearly that this great country and our government belongs to all of us and not just a handful of billionaires. When we stand together, we can accomplish anything. Right. If we stand together, Bernie can win and we can too. Right. Will you stand beside me to urge Iowans to caucus on February 1st?
Thank you, Chris. Next up will be the CWA Iowa State Council President, Mr. Steve Abbott.
All right.
Good morning, everyone. I am extremely proud that the Communication Workers of America endorsed this candidate, because over the last 3 decades, there's probably no one who has spoken more about income inequality, health care for all, social justice, all the other issues that we've talked about today. There's 700,000 CWA members across the country. This is where it all starts. I will tell you, from a personal standpoint, early on I was undecided until the first time I met Bernie Sanders. And I had some members there, and it was at ICCI and ADA and CWA and some other groups that sponsored an event up in Waterloo. And when Bernie spoke, even some of my members who were not political said, I like what the guy has to say. Today, they say we're going to support him. But the one thing is, for all those people who said that we can't do this and we can't do that, why not? I thought we're the ones that decide what we want. Politicians aren't to decide what we want. We tell them what we want. So they need to start believing that. And after all, if we all work together, if we push this, all these issues out there, we are the ones that we've been waiting for.
Right.
And I think Bernie Sanders is the one we've been waiting for. So take on the big banks, healthcare companies, everyone. So I couldn't be prouder that the CWA and their executive board, after a 3-month-long survey where the rank and file decided who that we wanted to support, unanimously came out for Bernie Sanders. So let's go get him. Thank you.
Next up, traveling all the way from Waterloo in northern Iowa, from Mount Carmel Baptist Church, Pastor Franz Whitfield.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Let me ask a question this morning. How many of you are feeling the burn today? Awesome. I stand here this morning as a supporter of Bernie Sanders. A few months ago, back in March and April, I was unfortunately a supporter of Hillary Clinton. Yeah, I know. Until I had the opportunity to actually hear Bernie Sanders in person. In New York, I was on a politics panel in New York, and Bernie Sanders was the speaker before our panel. And at that time, I knew that Bernie was the person that I wanted to support as President of the United States. Our nation faces unprecedented challenges. The middle class is in the midst of a 40-year decline. Nearly 1 in 3 children live in poverty. The top 1/10 of 1% owns almost as much wealth as the bottom 90%. Women earn just 78 cents for each dollar that a man makes, and our African American women earn much less. In the words of Bernie, people are tired of establishment politics.
That's right.
And they want real change. As a pastor, I've walked with women and men facing hardships that could have been avoided had we proactively sought new solutions instead of keeping the status quo. President John F. Kennedy once said that change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or the present are certainly to miss the future. These powerfully prophetic words spoken decades ago reminds us now that we cannot continue to keep the same policies that we've had for years. We need a political revolution that's going to change our country for the better. Senator Bernie Sanders is the only candidate that can make our hopes and dreams become a reality. Listen to this. No one who works 40 hours a week should be living in poverty. And that's why Sanders has committed to seeing that the minimum wage is raised to $15 an hour. Bernie, he has pledged to create youth job programs, improving the lives for millions of disadvantaged young Americans. In the Senate, he introduced a legislation that would invest $1 trillion in American jobs to fix our crumbling infrastructure. That's right. And these policies and others just like them, they represent a proactive, comprehensive approach to making all of our lives better. So we're in a crisis, and we have to do something now. A few months ago, we stood in a very different position numerically, but now we stand as the leader in Iowa. Give yourselves a hand. We stand as the leader in New Hampshire. We're going to go on and win the Democratic nomination. And then from there, we're going to the White House. So what I want to do is I want to challenge my fellow Americans to vote for the candidate with the strongest commitment to strengthening and growing the middle class. And Sanders is that candidate. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pastor. Up next will be CCI Action President, Barb Caldwell.
Good morning. My name is Barb Caldwell. I'm president of Iowa CCI Action Fund Board. It's a great organization. We're glad to partner with all the organizations here today for Bernie Sanders. I'm also a fourth-generation family farmer from Adair County and a registered nurse in Madison County. Well, I'm also a morning watcher of C-SPAN, a 3-hour show that features guests who will give their expertise on the latest political and international issues. And occasionally, a white-haired senator from Vermont was on that show as their guest, and I was introduced to Bernie Sanders. He struck me as a plain-spoken, straightforward, straight shooter who would tell you what he thought and act on what he told you. Because of that, I began to follow Bernie Sanders, his stance on the many issues that affect everyday people, and I've never been disappointed. I have found that not only is Bernie a straight shooter, but I can trust and depend on what he says. As a candidate for the Democratic nomination for the President of the United States, Bernie Sanders has shown that he will be honest with its citizens. He stands with the 99%, the family farmers, the manufacturers, the laborers, the nurses, the immigrants, the postal workers, the college students, and more. He wants an economy that works for all of us. Bernie is fighting against the corrosive power of big money in politics and the corruption on Wall Street that allows billionaires and hedge fund managers to pay no income taxes.
That ain't right.
Yeah, that ain't right. Well, now you guys pay taxes, don't you?
Yeah.
I pay taxes.
Yep.
Why don't they pay taxes?
Right.
I heard that.
Well, I want to know. And Bernie wants to know too. That's why I want Bernie up there finding out. Bernie has been a gift to the people of Vermont, and they have recognized this. He served in the House of Representatives, and then in 2006, he was elected by a margin of 64.5% in Vermont to the Senate. In 2012, he was elected by a margin of 71%, re-elected to the Senate. He's a gift to Vermont. He's fighting to bust up big banks, fighting to expand Social Security, and continue to increase access to health care for all of us. Fighting for pay equity, fighting for a living wage for everybody. But a man with Bernie Sanders' integrity and courage realizes that one man cannot accomplish everything that needs to be done. He recognizes that he needs all of us working with him in a grassroots movement of everyday people dedicated to fighting for justice and democracy in our communities. He recognizes that he needs you and I fighting with him in his political revolution that will make our country one that we can be proud of.
All right.
CCI Action Fund is proud to stand with a candidate who thinks like us, who trusts us to participate in a government on equal footing, who reliably stands with a 99% to create what he says is a better world for our children and our grandchildren. We stand with Bernie Sanders.
Thanks, Barb. Next will be Debbie Soretti from the American Postal Workers Union. National Vice President.
Thank you, everyone. I want to say that it is exciting to be in this political movement. It's a political movement we've needed for a long, long time. Oh, yeah. And many of you know, the postal workers, we came out as well and endorsed Bernie Sanders. But there are a few unions that are progressive enough to know that we need Bernie. But the most important part, Bernie needs us.
Yeah.
He tells us about it day in and day out. That he needs our movement. And it's not going to happen without us.
Right.
And we know that that's like number one. I want to say that the history of Bernie Sanders, a lot of people say, well, we don't know this guy. You know, he's from Vermont, but they have to get educated. We have to educate them. Because what has happened in Vermont is what could happen in the whole United States of America. Because in Vermont, people love and care about each other. It used to be a Republican state where it ended up, it was all money. But now Vermont has totally turned, and that's because of all the dedication for Bernie. But we don't have time, you know, to wait for years and years to make this political movement happen. We have to do it now. This is the time. So as far as postal workers are concerned, you know, Bernie Sanders has been on picket lines, not Clinton. Bernie Sanders has been there for us when we needed things to happen in Congress. When it comes down to legislation that the workers need, he's there for us. He's there for almost every single group that belongs in the United States of America, except for the rich. And the rich have taken control, and they've had it for too long.
Right.
We have got to get rid of this situation. And what do you do when that happens? How can we do that? We've got to stand up, and we've got to shut them down. Because we are the people. We have the power. We have the vote. So we've got to work hard. We have got to work really hard to get our members, to get our communities to stand in line or do the absentee ballot. We have got to get them to vote and to vote for Bernie. Just to tell a little bit of story about the unions that are involved with all of the campaigns that go on. Most unions do support Democratic candidates. But I gotta say, we didn't have to go to Bernie.
Right.
Bernie came to us.
Right.
Did the Clintons come to us?
No.
No. We had to invite them to our board. We didn't want to make a vote, to make that decision to endorse until we heard both sides. But when we got to Clinton's side, the labor liaison they sent, she didn't have a clue about postal workers, American postal workers. She knew a little bit about letter carriers. But she didn't know about our union movement. She didn't know about postal banking. She didn't know about the destruction of the postal service, privatization, all of those issues. It's hard to even see her in campaigns to say the word union, like it's something bad. Obviously, it's a shame that we didn't get more unions involved. There's still a little time to get a few of the unions that are still out there. But number one, bottom line, we have got to be there for him. And the only way, it's going to take a lot of hard work. We all know that. But I've got something very exciting to say, because we are building a political movement, a political revolution in D.C. Just over a few weeks ago, we've had about 110 organizations that have been meeting, long hours, lots of phone calls and teleconferences, but we're going to have an activity in April that's going to wake up the nation, wake up all of our people that are out there that haven't ever gotten involved in elections, that they are going to start getting involved. They're going to see that when Bernie has been saying in his commercials that he needs a political movement and that it needs to happen, they're going to see, yeah, it is happening. We're not talking about it, it's happening now. So one of the things about this political movement is that we also need to make some changes about voting rights, and we need to make some changes about getting money out of politics.
Right.
And I think that's like the most important thing right now that Bernie is saying. And he tries to explain this to people, but it seems like we're not always getting that message out there. So we've got to work extra hard. We've got to get involved in this movement. We've got to be able to get our members and our communities. And I think where we've lost it is that unions have usually just done things just by themselves. But now we need to expand. We need to expand to the communities that we belong to, the churches, the other organizations that are trying to help people, because we're all in this together, and to make our country great, we have got to start supporting each other instead of everybody who has priority issues. We can't just go with just those priority issues. We have to first form this political revolution. So we're excited about it, and as Bernie would say, when we stand together, there is nothing that we cannot accomplish. And so we hope and pray that Iowa and New Hampshire and South Carolina and the rest of the country will start moving in the right direction. And with that, I just want to say thank you for having me here, and pay big attention to what's going on in Washington, D.C., and what we're going to be doing in states across the country. You got to get involved in the movement. That's all I can tell you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Debbie. Okay, to close out the first portion of this program today will be Jean Ross from the National Nurses Union, National Co-President.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Now, for those of you who don't know me, as she said, I am Jean Ross, Co-President, National Nurses United. I come from over the border, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yes, where it's colder there today. You guys should feel fortunate. And I've been coming the last few months back and forth over the border, which is good because it helps me beef up the people back home and letting them know what people here in Iowa are saying. We are hearing the same things. And when I first came here, I heard that most people didn't know much about Bernie. I will tell you, as we've gone door to door, to know him is to love him. That isn't just because we know that, but the minute people hear him, they don't even have to meet him. The minute people hear him, his message resonates. Now, why would that be? It's easy for us as nurses. We were the first national to endorse him. I'm very, very proud of that. I think he really needed it. But it was so easy for us because our values, our nurses' values of caring, compassion, and community are Bernie's values. I mean, it was like, duh, a no-brainer, right? Why? How could you not endorse somebody like Bernie, right? People think, okay, we said it's crunch time. It is crunch time.
But you guys, you should enjoy it while we're here, because this is historic. We can pull this off with Bernie's help. This is just going to be, you're going to be a part of history here, okay? I really feel that every day, and I'm older than a lot of you in this room. I need it to be historic. I need this. So if you're not doing it for yourselves or Bernie, do it for me. I could use that. So what are we hearing from people that we talk to in Iowa and back home? We're hearing, geez, he seems so authentic. Honestly, he doesn't waffle. You know, you can do that when you're telling the truth. Darn if it doesn't come through, right? You can do that when you're telling the truth. I thought, for those of you who watched the last debate, when did he get the most applause?
When he spoke.
When he spoke and when he said, this is why nothing can get done in this country. This is why the system is rigged. These are the culprits. Right. We're holding them accountable. It's what every one of us wants to hear, right? For those of us who said for a long time, why don't they just break up those banks? I wish we had the same laws that we did when Teddy Roosevelt was president. Stupid me. They're there. We're just not using them. We're just not using them. They're on the books. We need to do these things. We know who is responsible. We need to hold them accountable, right? Okay. You know, it's been brought up before. I'm sure you've all heard Gandhi's statement. First they ignore us, then they mock us, then they fight us, then we win. February 1st, we're gonna win. Now, we have had the ignoring, have we not? Did you know there was another candidate there for a while besides Hillary Clinton? No, you didn't. So they've ignored us. Then there's the mocking. Oh, for God's sake, he's a socialist. He can't possibly win. The polls are wrong. That man cannot win, right? There's the mocking. And now there have been some vicious attacks, some of which we as nurses take very personally. Medicare for all is doable. Right. And we are going to have it. That's right. We are going to see that through. It's doable. We can tell them where the money will come from, the Robin Hood tax. Bernie glommed onto that right away. Like I said, his values are our values. And he put it forward. That will pay for a lot. And then his tax plan will pay for the rest. That's right. So we can do these things. We can do it. Now, I want to put in a plug before I finish here. We have a petition that's going around right now. If you can write down or put it in your phones, change.org AFL-CIO. We're going to ask you to sign the petition asking AFL-CIO to endorse Bernie Sanders. Yeah. And the reason we want you to do that is we believe there is a big push. AFL-CIO usually doesn't endorse in the primaries, but there's a push from some of the larger unions right now to endorse Hillary. And I can't think of anything less appetizing than to have my dues money go toward fighting Bernie Sanders, our candidate. No. So do it yourself, but you've got brothers and sisters in labor, in those other unions. And I don't care if their national has already endorsed the other person. Shame them. Yeah. Shame them. Yeah. Right? Fill the petition out, put your name down, and then tell your officers, we did this. The hell with what you said. And I know I'm not supposed to talk like that. We are brothers and sisters in the labor movement, but I'm sorry. Right now, they're just not thinking clearly. And as nurses, when people don't think clearly, we need to set them right. Yeah. So I'm doing my job as a nurse here. Got some sanity back in the room. So if you will do that, then I guess the only other thing left to say is on to the phones. The website?
The petition site. Say the petition site.
Change.org AFL-CIO.
Change.org
AFL-C
hyphen
AFL AFL-CIO, and what will come up will be that petition.
Put that in your search engine, whether it's Google or whatever you use to search for things on the web. Just put change.org AFL-CIO, and that petition will come up. Anyone has trouble, ask them. It's very easy to sign. This is really for rank and file. This is meaning like thousands of people to sign the petition. You've got
You don't even have to be a member of the AFL-CIO union or its affiliates. You can still go to that petition.
Okay, this is the second part of the program today. Is everybody fired up? Yeah! Ready to go? Ready to hit the phones. So I want you to stick around, and we're going to make some calls. Laurel Wells from MPA will do a short training while we get some tables set up. So let's everybody do the training, and then we're going to see how many supporters we can identify on the phones. Be about a 45-minute deal. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay,
Laurel.
hello everyone.
You gotta use that.
It doesn't. Okay. Hey everyone. My name is Laurel Wales. I work with National People's Action Campaign, and I'm here today to just run us through a very quick kind of rundown of what we're going to do on the phones. Who here has already made calls on behalf of Bernie? And who here has done calling in the past? Great, an experienced room. So I'm going to keep this nice and short. So, to start, we've got three main goals for today. The first one is the caucuses are less than 2 weeks away, and we need to turn our people out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Right.
We've got to build support for Bernie and share why we care. One of the biggest ways to move people is actually to share our stories and our experiences and come from a place of what our values are and how we want to build the political revolution. And the last one is to introduce people to Iowa CCI Action. We've got to grow the movement in Iowa and have it rooted in an organization that can continue this fight after the election. All sound good? Yeah. Great. So, with that, scripts are being passed out, so I'm going to do the quick bullets. There's a lot of words on the page, but there's just a few things that you need to remember. So, when you start the call, introduce yourself. Share who you're calling with, right? Build rapport. Ask what they care about. Be relational over the phone. We don't want to sound like robots. We want to have this come from our hearts and our guts. Find out if they plan to caucus and who they're planning to support. So a few key things. If they're supporting Hillary or O'Malley, and they say that from the beginning, find out if it's strong support. So are you definitely supporting Hillary or are you definitely supporting O'Malley? If they say, oh, I'm thinking about it, I haven't made up my mind fully, but that's where I'm leaning, then move to say your pitch on why they should support Bernie. If they say, yeah, I'm strongly supporting them, say thank you very much for your time, hang up the phone. We got to find the undecideds and our supporters, so we don't want to waste our time trying to move people that won't move. If they're unsure, we want to persuade for Bernie, share why we support them, and try to hear from them like what they're wrestling with, what struggles they are thinking about, and things that they want to see happen and change. And then if they support Bernie, ask them to volunteer. There's a blue, and we'll hand these out, but there's blue cards that have phone bank shifts. So anybody that you call, it's like, I support Bernie, ask them to come and join us next week at the Iowa CCI Action office to continue calling as we head into February 1st. Does that all sound good? Yeah. Okay. So lastly, just a few best practices for calling. Be yourself, build rapport with the person on the phone. Be relational, like I keep saying, share stories, experiences, ask them questions, get them talking. Dial, dial, dial. Keep that phone to your ear and just keep pounding through the calls. We don't have that much time to waste, so every minute we put the phone down. That's another caller we're not getting to. Smile while you dial. So I'm serious about this one. They can feel that on the other end of the line. If you are happy, if you're having a good time, they will hear your energy come through the phone. Have fun. And lastly, don't let a rough call get you down. Move on to the next one. There's always more people to find. And lastly, on the call sheets that you've got, there's a bunch of codes. And there are a lot of little abbreviations. And we'll keep this up so you know what each one means. So I'm just going to run through them quickly. NH means not home, right? So you're calling, nobody answers, not home. BZ would be you get the busy signal. XC means the line has been disconnected. So that's when you get the use that one. DC is deceased. Sometimes this happens. You call someone and they have passed away. So we don't want to bug the family anymore after that. So really make sure that you mark that if you run into it. WN means wrong number, and LG means language barrier. And as much as possible, if you run into a language barrier, try to code, just like write in the notes what language you ran into, so we can have the right, any Spanish speakers call them back and really try to engage them if you find that. So the first question is caucus. The Y is for yes, N is for no, M is for maybe. Pretty simple, right? Okay. Who? H stands for Hillary, B stands for Bernie, M is for O'Malley, and the U means undecided. And then the last one's for volunteer, same as the caucus. Y equals yes, N equals no, M equals maybe. That all sound good? Okay, any questions?
We're not leaving messages, are we?
We are not leaving messages. That is correct. Any other questions? Yes.
On the back it said ask for contact info.
Yes. So if you find a supporter and maybe they can't volunteer, but we want to like build our list, get their email. Write it in the notes. Say, oh, what's your email address so we can contact them later. Yes, way back there.
Okay, so who are the list? Are these people that live in Des Moines or what?
They are people that live in Des Moines, and they, I believe, are between the ages of like 55 and up. Since we're calling during the day, we really wanted to like make sure that we're calling folks that we believe are more likely to be home at this time of day. Then we'll call folks that are probably getting off of work at 5 later tonight.
And not Republicans.
Yes, and there are not Republicans in the list.
If they're O'Malley, are we asking for their number 2 support?
You should do that. Yep.
Did everybody hear that?
No. That's important.
So if they say they're supporting O'Malley, ask them who their number 2 support is.
Okay.
It's important because there's a chance that they might support O'Malley now, but if he drops, they could move our way.
We really try to talk them into supporting Bernie.
Yep. Yep. Mike?
There is the chairs up here around the table, and there's an office.
I am actually signing that petition now while she tells people how to do the phone banking thing.
We got tables and chairs on both offices, so if you guys want to split the groups up, we can.
Great. Cool. Any other questions? Okay, let's hit the phones.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll take down the tripod too.
You know what I noticed? That when you tweeted the URL, it's some, this happens to me all the time. It didn't tweet as a URL, like a linkable.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just like one space, and then it makes it so that, and then it's hard for people to link to it, so I couldn't watch it while this was happening. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
So I went to Ustream and I tried to figure it out, and then I realized on the stupid phone I was using, I didn't have that application on my phone, blah, blah, blah. Are you supporting Bernie?
Well, I can't vote, but that does...
You can't vote?
Nope, I lost my rights.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, I have no known felonies on my record.
What's the rule in Iowa?
Well,
Any felonies?
If you have a felony on your record, you lose your rights. But because I only have misdemeanors, they're protest arrests. But if I have anything else, I don't know about it. I don't know.
Have you looked into that?
I tried.
Do they have any restoration of rights here?
For felonies?
Yeah.
If you pay your restitution and you have served your time, but because I don't have restitution to pay.
So you're like in this Kafkaesque weird zone.
Yeah, and of course, also my citizenship has been questioned. Even though I was born in this country, your parents were natural-born citizens, and their parents were natural-born citizens. I think it's because I'm an activist Muslim.
Yeah.
But I figure that's their problem.
Well, no, but it's our problem too, because we need everyone to be able to vote and participate.
Yeah.
Right?
But, I can't go through the normal process to try to get my rights back because I don't have a felony and I don't have restitution to pay and I've never been in a prison. Only the Polk County Jail for a few days. And then I use that time to my advantage.
Yes.
So the jail was an opportunity
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
talked about Occupy
Yeah.
and I talked to some of the other women about Islam since
Yeah.
I'm a Muslim and
Yeah.
I was fasting during Ramadan, so.
Well, I think you should try to find some kind of legal services to help you get your rights back, because that's ridiculous. It may be this time-consuming bureaucratic process, but I bet you it's possible. I'm going to go interview some other folks, but thank you very much for coming.
You're welcome.
Someone sitting here?
You are.
But we use our phones once for a CPI vote.
It's possible. We have a really late. Not like 5 o'clock.
Okay. Are you getting the shares?
I guess we need their information and then
What people are doing now is they are using their own cell phones to call people on these lists to see if they are going to attend the caucus and they're going to support Bernie Sanders or who do they support. And they collect their, I think they're collecting names, they're marking on sheets the result of each call, so that's what they're doing. So that's pretty much what's going to be going on here.
Liz stole my spot. I did. I saw your phone and I pushed it away.
You can put another chair up there.
Well, if people want to.
Just turn it around.
If people want to volunteer? That's all they can. Or if they're like,
They just set themselves up on other parts of the room to do that. Oh. So I think that's all that's going on here. Some people like a little coffee with their creamer and sugar. I think I'm going to go ahead and take my stream down. Before I do, I'm going to go ahead and look up, I'll give you some stuff that I'm doing next. I'll have to look them up.
sorry. What up, Jerk?
So January 21st is Take Back Iowa Day. That will start at 1 p.m. Central Time. I will be streaming that from the Capitol. several issues being lobbied on there, mainly, trying to stop the Bakken oil pipeline from crossing the state. And then there's supposed to be a march for Bernie here in Des Moines, but I have not found any new details on where that will be and what time of the day. That's on January 21st. And then if I cannot find that out, then the alternate that I would stream is an event called Iowa Caucus's Annual Roll. It's basically teaching how the caucus process works. And that one starts at 1:30. So the March for Bernie is supposed to start at 12:30 p.m. Central on the 23rd, but I haven't seen any info on location. And then another event called Climate Emergency Caucus on January 29th at 7 p.m. I will live stream that. And then following that, if there's another event, February 28th, People's Forum on the Bakken Pipeline, if I can get a ride to Boone, I will stream that. And of course, there's another one here in January. So I'm looking, there's another one that's coming up that I'm looking for. Okay, there is another one. Fight for 15 event. To raise the minimum wage.
We're going to make a great difference. Bernie's going to win. We have a great chance of getting him to Washington.
That looks like a phone lobby or sending messages.
So we're hoping to get all Iowans supported. Hi, is this Elaine? Once you get to know him, oh my God. Hi, Elaine. My name is Elaine. I'm a volunteer with Iowa. So let's make a difference here. Oh, I'm sorry. We're just calling
Okay, I'm still looking for another one. It's in my email, so.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much. I hope you have a good day. Hi, I'm Debbie Ray. I'm the Vice President of the American Postal Union, and I'm here today in Local 44, the Des Moines area local for APWU. And why we are here is to support Bernie 150%. We know what kind of a stand Bernie has for postal workers.
So I think there's something in February. I'm not.
He has blocked so many privatized activities at headquarters level and in Congress, and we are so excited to know that he will be behind us, and he will be with us, and we will be with him. A real quick phone call on Yes. How are you doing today? Yes, I'm doing good. Oh, we're calling folks today about the Iowa Caucus. We know that we're going to create a... Yeah, we have a lot of people. Well, we
There's another event at the Capitol that's like February 19th or something like that. I'm not sure the date on that, but I will mention that as the time gets closer. So I'm hoping to find out more stuff what's going on. So that, again, what people are doing, they're calling potential supporters. They are asking them if they're going to participate in the caucuses on February 1st and find out if they will support Bernie Sanders or already do, or who they support if they do not support Bernie Sanders, and things like that. So just kind of like an informal poll. And they're talking about, since this was a union-sponsored event, asking if they support union labor and workers' rights.
Very good. Would you have a second choice candidate? If Hillary's not winning nomination?
Yeah, the one thing he's putting there that would be a difference maker is that.
So that's what's going on there.
It was a really heated debate, I agree.
So that's. And there's a rally this afternoon in Ames, Iowa. I will not go there because I have some other things to do this afternoon here in Des Moines. And tomorrow I cannot join them for anything because I am having my cable modem looked at tomorrow morning to find out why it's acting up. And Thursday,
Well, I'm really glad to hear that you'll be caught
I'm not sure what else I'll be doing.
So thank you very much for your time.
And again, Friday the 21st will be the next event that I will stream at 7 p.m. Central Time. And before I do close out my stream, I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank any channels that are restreaming my channel, whether it be Iowa 99 Media on YouTube, or that's a new communication setup, new social media for 99% here in Iowa. It's a collaboration between me and Carrie, who used to be in Hawaii as part of Occupy Hawaii, or Occupy Hilo, but she is in Des Moines now, and doing media stuff here. And so that's Iowa 99 Media on Facebook and on Twitter, as well as YouTube. So she posts videos there, and she tweets stuff, and she posts stuff on the Facebook page. Sometimes I'll drop a little something there, but she does more of that than I do, at least right now. But so check that out, and hopefully we may be able to do more stuff together, on the street,
Oh, this is Maddie. I'm a volunteer
when
with
she
Iowa.
gets back in the live streaming, I hope she does.
We're a grassroots organization here in Iowa.
And she's actually testing out YouTube live streaming.
You will be caucusing.
So that's something to follow for all stuff Iowa, at least from Central Iowa.
Are you a strong supporter, or are you kind of on the fence?
And
nope, okay.
Either one of us can try to get more people in the live streaming, so that it won't be just the two of us.
What's on your what makes you sway either way, I suppose.
So do check that out. Do check out Iowa 99 Media on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and so that's where you can find all of our stuff. And also my Twitter handle is @STRAINSOP, and on Facebook I am Kaylin Lee Strain, and my YouTube channel is just Kaylin Strain, that's the name on it. So do check those out, and also check out my donation site on Ustream, or not Ustream, but on GoFundMe.com/OccupierKaylin, that's KAYLYNN, and www.gofundme.com/OccupierKaylin. If you cannot access GoFundMe, or you do not have the currencies that it supports, like the British pound, the Canadian or Australian,
I would agree with that opinion. I think the center is super
or
important.
New Zealand
I
dollar,
vouch for the
or the
argument
euro.
that I think that he has the respect of his Republican
Then
comrades and Congress.
then you can go to PayPal at www.paypal.com, and then send money to line enter the email address strainSOP@AOL.com. Again, www.paypal.com, and then send money to line enter the email address strainSOP@AOL.com. And so do kick me a little if you can. I haven't had any donations for a while, so I just past few months ago I switched from Verizon to Sprint, so I'm still paying down. I gotta send additional payments to Verizon because there's some mess up somewhere. Not my fault, but still, I gotta wait for a corrected bill before I can start sending them their final payments. But anyway, so
You're going with pragmatic thought here.
plus I upgraded my equipment. I'm doing so, and I now have a hotspot. And I've got
I can agree with that.
a couple spare batteries and some spare cords. You know how cords don't last very long, but anyway, so do kick me a little if you can. And another thing that you can do is, for those who do support Bernie Sanders, if you have not seen it already, there is a live stream channel on livestream.com, and the channel name is Feel the Burn. So livestream.com/Feel the Burn, and you can check that out. But it's all things Bernie Sanders, various videos from various sources that have been put up there, and some of my videos may be up there or will be. So again, thanks for watching. Do check all those out, and spread my stuff around. Let people know that I'm doing this here in Iowa. Spread Iowa 99 media around. And again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the street.